Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna and I'm a little bit spooky. And darlings, today we are talking about a Charlotte Tilbury product. This is the iconic Filmstar Bronze and Glow. And why am I talking about this now? Why am I just now getting around to reviewing it? Because I just now got around to buying it. And I bought the mini because I didn't need the full size, and the mini was like half the price and looked lovely, and yeah, it made more sense to me to pick up the mini because I wasn't sure if I liked the product and all that. So I picked up the mini of the Filmstar Bronze and Glow, which says to be limited edition on the Sephora website and Charlotte Tilbury website. And to me, honestly, I think you get a good bit of product within this. This is a pretty decent sized little palette for a mini, and it's got a great little mirror in it. I think it's lovely. It feels substantial, reminds me a lot of the full size. So in today's video, we're gonna kind of deep dive into this product, see if it still is worth the hype that's around it. This is one of those iconic, like, OG products from Charlotte Tilbury that was one of the first things that I think I heard the most about when it came out, and everyone was raving about it, and I was like, that looks like it's probably gonna be too deep for my skin tone, so I ain't gonna worry about it. Well, here I am worrying about it, probably like 10 years later. Not quite that long, but quite a few years later. Here I am sitting down with it finally and playing with it. So yeah, I wanted to see if this product was still worth the hype and if it still has a place in my collection now with all the new products on the market. Recently, I've come to discover a few Charlotte Tilbury products that I just think are amazing, undupable, like great products. So I wanted to see if the Filmstar Bronze and Glow is one of those products as well. So yeah, let's dive in and see if this is good or not. On to the video. Right. Let's talk about the Filmstar Bronze and Glow. Legendary, award-winning product. So is it, in my book, award-winning, that good? Let's find out. So I'm gonna start with reading you the claims on the website because girl, this description, Charlotte Tilbury could literally sell me a turd at this point because these descriptions are just amazing. She could literally be selling anything and be like, I need that. she's so descriptive and has the most elaborate descriptions of products, and you can't help but read them in her voice. If you've ever heard Charlotte Tilbury speak, she has just this very boisterous yet sophisticated British accent that just gets you like, yeah, and you're like, darlings, and it's just a very absolutely fabulous sounding type of person. She really does remind me of Absolutely Fabulous sometimes. I don't know if you've seen that show. She reminds me of somebody who could be on there sometimes with her descriptions, and she's just kind of a little bit over the top sometimes in the way she carries herself and speaks, but it's so glamorous and so lovely, and I absolutely love her. I think she's so beautiful. I love her cheekbones. Oh, those cheekbones. I'm so jealous. Let's get into talking about this product. Product details. What makes it magic? This all-in-one pressed powder bronzer and highlighter will sculpt and highlight your features for a fabulous red carpet cheekbones. Buildable, color-rich pigments are rolled into elastomer pearls that smooth and buff the appearance of the skin for a sun-kissed candlelit effect. Does that not sound like heaven on earth right there? Just wait, it gets better. And here's Charlotte's part. My iconic Filmstar Bronze and Glow has two sides, contour and highlight. The contour has a blend of pearl and pigments to help contour your face while I can't get that one out. Whilst bronzing. That is such a tongue twister word for me. To help contour your face whilst bronzing, mimicking sun-kissed skin. The highlighter has a golden base to universally flatter any skin tone with light flex technology to capture and reflect light just where you want it. Encased in a Hollywood-inspired Art Deco packaging for the ultimate makeup accessory. Okay, so let's talk about this. I think the description is quite lovely, and I don't really think it necessarily oversells the product. They talk about the perks of the technology used to create it, which I think is great, and the formula. The packaging is beautiful, and I do think it does feel like an accessory piece. Think like whipping out that beautiful compact at a lovely dinner. That's what her products feel like to me. The packaging themselves feel like accessories. They're beautiful, high quality, gorgeous pieces that look amazing on a vanity. So that's one of the selling perks to me of Charlotte Tilbury, is just the full luxury feel of it. It feels like you're pampering yourself. And I love that. And most of the packaging is metal, like the lipsticks are metal. This I do believe feels like plastic. I'm not 100% sure. It feels plasticky. All her packaging is quite high quality feeling, and just I think it looks gorgeous sitting out. So you are paying for that luxury experience when you use Charlotte's products. But for the most part, the formulas match up to the luxury price point as well. Namely, like the Flawless Filter, that product is like a holy grail. Nothing can compare to a product in my book. But we're not talking about that today. We were talking about the Filmstar Bronzer Glow. So I think the contour in this shade, in this palette, is perhaps a little warmer than I would typically go for. It is definitely a mix between a contour and bronzer for me. And I was cautious about using it because I was seeing people with deeper skin tones than me using it. And I heard, a couple girls closer to my skin tone not like it and say it was too warm on them. So I was kind of very apprehensive about giving it a go. And I do have it in the light medium colorway. There's, I believe, 2 colorways you can get in the full size. However, the mini just comes in the 1 light medium, but the full size does have a medium dark option. I was just kind of apprehensive about the shades in it because some people would use it and it seemed very warm and orangey on them, where other people would use it and it would look beautiful. Now I find that it plays incredibly well with my skin tone because I have a true neutral skin tone. I've come to really realize I don't necessarily have a cool tone skin tone or a warm tone skin tone. I am truly neutral in between. I just have some redness in my skin because I have rosacea. That's a different thing. But primarily my skin is very neutral and I can go either way with products, which is kind of truly a blessing and makes things a lot easier because I don't have to be quite so concerned about the undertone of a product. I can make a lot of different things work for me. I can, pull off something a little bit warmer and pull off something a little bit cooler and they both be fine. Whereas some people, that's not going to work. It's going to really compete with your skin tone. But I found that I'm just truly neutral and I'm just very, very pale. I'm just incredibly pale, undead, vampire, all around ghostly girl. But anyways, I have found that the bronzer side of this, or the contour bronzer rather, this is one of those products that's kind of versatile where you can get a little bit of both in it. It's very much a bronzer, as I would like to refer to these shades, to where they have enough depth in them to where you can sculpt in enough shadowiness, yet they have that warmth in there that does give some bronzy warmth to the skin, so you can kind of do 2 in 1. Whereas some bronzers are just too orangey, too warm to sculpt with, and some contours are just too cool tone to bronze with. And I don't think I have a shade quite like this in my collection, which is really nice. It's been happening a lot lately. I guess I'm just branching out, trying new things, whereas before I was very set in my ways about, no, only cool tone contours and one bronzer that I liked. And now I've been kind of branching out, trying new bronzers and stuff because I realized that NARS Laguna worked on me. I'm like, what else can work for me? Let me get in there and see what's good. I find that this bronzer contour situation works very well on my skin tone because it does have a little bit of a pink in it, whereas I don't always like that. It has a bit of a pinky warmth, and I think it looks really nice on my skin for summer, for when I'm wanting a more tan, sun-kissed, out and about healthy look, which is not always a look I go for, but we're in spring, summer right now. Why not? Let's go for it and just warm the skin up and look a little bit healthier and maybe not look so undead as I always do. And I think the tone of this does have a bit of a coolness in there while still having a nice warmth as well. It's kind of a unique shade. I haven't quite come across anything like it within my collection. And I think it's beautiful. It's definitely kind of oddly cool toned. And then when you blend it out, it just has this beautiful kind of very softly radiant warmth to it. It does have a slight sheen and it's not flat matte. It's very smooth, silky feeling powder. And it's beautiful. It really is. And I think the color of it looks really kind of natural on my skin tone. It feels like it belongs there. And what's funny is kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum with the Patrick Ta Bronzing Contour Duo, the bronzer in this one's much more yellow. And I also feel like it works really well on my skin tone because I think I'm just very neutral and kind of can flip either way. But today I'm using the Filmstar Bronze and Glow and I think my face looks softly sculpted, not over the top, but I'd also just look very healthy and not pale and just look very brontoured, if you will. And I think this is a great little contour product for that if you are very neutral, and if you're a little bit deeper skin tone than me, I think you could definitely pull this off and not have any trouble with it. I think if you're very warm, very yellow undertone or olive undertone, this may not be the best shade for you. It's gonna possibly compete, but if you're kind of more of a cool tone, light skin tone to medium, this will play a little bit better for you because it has a little bit pink in it. And I think if you're lighter than my skin tone, I'm pretty damn pale, is like lightest shade in almost every single foundation. I think I don't know my shade in MAC, or I'd tell you that. I think it's probably the lightest shade. I'm typically the very much the lightest shade, pale as it can get, foundation shade type of gal. And this does play well with my skin tone, but if you are lighter than me, I don't know if you would enjoy it. Perhaps with a light hand you would. And again, I went in with a pretty light hand. I don't go heavy with bronzer or contour products because I am pale and it can overwhelm my face, and sometimes it can, you know, make me look kind of gaunt and do the opposite of what I want it to do. Because when I'm using like a product like this that has that bit of warmth in it, I'm doing it to look healthy and like I'm ready for summer or something over here. Anxious girl summer. I think it's going to come down to really your undertones and your preferences with that type of product. But I did find it work really well on me, and I was pleasantly surprised. I'm having such good luck lately with these types of products. I don't know what it is. And I probably said that and I've jinxed myself, and the next contour or bronzer I buy, it's going to be awful on me. I don't know if it would be necessarily the most versatile across the board universally for everyone, but there is the other colorway that perhaps would work for you. I just think this one might play a little bit better for neutral to cool undertones rather than olive or warm. Now the highlight portion of this palette is beautiful. It is a beautiful champagne highlight with that little bit of golden in there. It's the kind of highlight that I've been searching for that would work on my skin tone without casting a darker shadow, which I come across a lot in more golden based highlighters, is that they tend to be just too deep for me. And I have like Moonlit something from e.l.f. metallic flare highlighter that I've been using in the lightest shade that it has a little bit more white in it than I would prefer. I'm looking for something with a little bit of golden undertone in there that is light enough for my skin tone. Whereas, you know, I picked up the Jaclyn Hill Sparks the other day thinking that might be the product, but that one is very yellow, almost green. And Sparks from Jaclyn Hill has a bit more of a yellow green, almost canary type of undertone in it, or flash in it, that just doesn't always work with every look. It looks good with like a green eyeshadow or something like that, but it's not a color I want to wear every day because it does have quite a bit of a true yellow in it with a white base. I was just looking for a true champagne with a golden undertone that is pale enough for my ghostly self, and this might be it. In the pan, it looks like it's going to be too dark for me. Like I was like, that's not going to work. That's going to cast a shadow on my face. In application, it looks beautiful. And it gives the most soft, just wet, gentle, yet punchy glow. Like it's gorgeous formula on this highlighter. Probably one of the most beautiful highlighters I've ever used. It is so silky and has no glitter in it, no chunkiness. It is incredibly smooth and it's not metallic. It is just a beautiful, beautiful glow. And I have it on my cheekbones today, and you'll see me applying it in the demo. It just gives that very bright, kind of natural almost highlight to the skin. It's the highlight that I wish my skin had naturally, that it doesn't really have. But it's gorgeous. It doesn't look over the top. It's a very easy highlighter that I think you can pull off every single day and not look like you're looking to be glowing for the gods. It's just a beautiful everyday kind of highlight. And I think this is a beautiful everyday kind of product because the bronzer in it is something you can use for some shaping and some bronzing, and then the highlight is just very refined and kind of graceful. It's not going to look heavy on the face or like you put on too much. It's just very beautiful, and it is buildable. So if you do want to build up for a little bit more of a punchy highlight, you can. I like the versatility of this product and that it is kind of a one and done type of thing that you can throw in your bag for travel. And the mini size is actually fantastic if you are somebody who's on the go a lot and does some traveling. It's gorgeous, and it is only, the mini size retails for $29, whereas the full size retails for $68. Ooh, girl. I feel like you're getting a good amount of product though for what it is. You know, for that luxury experience as well, you're going to pay a little bit more, obviously. So I'm not saying this is going to be some incredible value here, even for a mini size, but compared to the full size at the $68 price point, almost $70 for a contour and highlight, I'll take the $29 in the mini size, which is a pretty decent size mini. I don't feel like I'm missing out by buying the mini of this. And I know I'm not going to go through this. If I do, it will be a miracle. I'm not somebody who tends to use up and pan a lot of products because I bounce around and use a lot of different products. I don't think I've ever gone through a highlight or a contour or bronzer, so the mini's a fine investment there. And it's about as much investment as I want to make in a product like this. However, the formula is fantastic, and I don't think you'll be disappointed on the formula aspect of this. It will just come down to if the shade works for you. And you can always return it if it doesn't, so keep that in mind. And yeah, if you are in my kind of skin tone region, you could definitely pick up the mini and give it a try. And if you have a deeper skin tone, however, you will have to go for that full size because the mini is not available in it, which is stupid. Why? But it does appear to have a much warmer, almost peachy highlight in it and a deeper contour bronzer shade. It looks beautiful though, and I think it could work for a good variety of skin tones. But one thing I really do enjoy about this product is that it does feel like a luxury product. It does feel very refined. The formula feels very elevated. It has a sophisticated formula, if you will. It's beautiful, and I think it's something that can work for a multitude of age range. The highlight in here doesn't emphasize any texture, nor does the bronzer side. I think they just look really beautiful and healthy and natural on the skin. So I don't think anybody who picks this up is gonna be disappointed in the formula. It's probably just gonna come down to like a shade, your undertone, and your color preference for contour bronzer type of product and highlights. But myself personally, I am kicking myself that I didn't buy this 5 years ago when it launched, or however long ago. This has been definitely missing in my collection. It's also probably going to become an everyday kind of top shelf product right up here because it's something very easy to use and beautiful on the skin. I like that I can kind of two birds with one stone there. Get two birds stoned at once with this product. Now, going into the winter months when I am looking for a little less bronze look to my skin, I don't know if it'll work at that point. I have gotten a tad bit of color to my face because I have been out and about more, even with sunscreen. And you know how I feel about SPF. I coat myself in it. I still somehow get a little bit of a color to my face, which isn't much. Like, I mean, just it's the most minimal tan you could possibly get. But I can see a difference in it when I use my foundations. I can tell my normal winter shade isn't quite the right shade. And yeah, so today I actually went in with a foundation that in the winter is normally a little bit too dark for me, which is the Bare Minerals Original Foundation, which matched me absolutely perfectly today. So like, oh, we have gotten a little bit of a tan. Well, look at you go, girl. Yeah, I think this is performing really, really great on me right now. So I don't know how it's going to perform on me next winter when when I lose this little bit of color I have, if it'll perform the same. But for right now, I am enjoying it. I'm going to use this throughout the summer and really appreciate it and enjoy it while I can at least. So that's my kind of final thoughts on it. I think it's a great contour bronzer duo. Wish I had picked it up sooner. Happy to see them come out with the mini because that's what's really was the kick in the pants to buy the palette. Because, girl, I was not going to spend $70 on it. I just wasn't. That wasn't going to happen. Because what would happen was, I would love it like I do, panic, buy a second backup of it for another another $70, and I don't want to fall in love with a product that costs that much, okay? I already like bougie enough skincare from Sunday Riley. That's like $100 a pop there. And the Flawless Filter. So I already have like some staples from Charlotte that I'm already buying and in love with. I don't need any more. Anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Filmstar Bronze and Glow. Let me know what you think down below. Is there any other like outstanding, amazing Charlotte Tilbury products that I need to check out and add to my collection? And just what have I been missing? Let me know down below in the comments. That is all for today. I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Wear your SPF out there because it is so sunny. Bye.